year to move up to number 2 on that list.
Well, not only that, but he is amongst the greatest wrestler coaches of all time. I would say Cael Sanderson and he probably 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. And you think about John Smith's coaching tree now, and all the guys, including Tyler Caldwell, who's now on staff in Stillwater after being a head coach at North Carolina. But it's got branches far and wide, his impact on the sport.
Yes,
so here we are, 133 pounds, and this is where Oklahoma State has the 4-time NCAA All-American Dayton Fix, but he is out, not wrestling. It is the veteran in there, and this is a guy that's been in a lot of matches, including Bedlam, and that's Reece Witcraft, as he opposes the Sooners' Jace Koelzer.
Well, look in the dictionary under tough and faithful, and that's Reece Witcraft, because he's seldom been the guy, but he's always been called upon, and he almost always rises to the occasion. A tough 2-time state champ wrestling for the great Jones family of Broken Arrow, Rodney Jones, Biff Jones, former coach Sean Jones, and dad, Hall of Famer Ernie Jones.
And Reece Witcraft's been an All-American, or I should say an NCAA qualifier at 125 and 133, and has even switched weights mid-season.
But this is a winnable match for the Sooners as well, and that's what we're talking about. You've got to find a way to win.
Jace Koelzer, the transfer from Northern Colorado, spent 5 years there. NCAA qualifier 2 years ago at 125, and he was 6th in the Big 12 that year at Northern Colorado. Northern Colorado, one of the affiliate members for wrestling in the Big 12.
Little pull of the headgear that went unnoticed by the officials, by Reece Witcraft.
Koelzer takes a shot. Koelzer went 2-0 last weekend. He got a win against both Missouri and West Virginia. Oklahoma getting a ranked road win last Sunday when they won out in Morgantown. And Roger Kish said that was as proud as he has been so far as a head coach at Oklahoma, off a tough loss at Missouri to bounce back and win in Morgantown last weekend.
Nice pull pancake, and then looking for a foot sweep off it.
That was a warning there issued
by Witcraft.
And out of bounds they go, back to the middle. Jace Koelzer ranked number 27 this week, out of Olathe, Kansas originally.
And he does a lot of wrestling. He just has to do a better job of controlling the tie-ups.
Koelzer moved from 125 to 133 last season at Northern Colorado, so he's got a year at this weight under his belt. And as you said, Witcraft is a guy that John Smith has just had to plug in here and there, and subbing in for the All-American Dayton Fix today. And there will be the 3-point takedown. That was a great job, almost like a tightrope act by Witcraft to keep his left foot just inside the circle and produce that takedown, Coach.
Which is a good rule. There's so much more wrestling that goes on. It used to be anything out of bounds, you were out of bounds. Now it's just the opposite.
So 3 points for Witcraft on that takedown. Only 2 takedowns in the duel have come from the Cowboys so far.
4-point stand attempt by Koelzer. Tilt attempt by Witcraft.
No points there. There's another new rule in collegiate wrestling. You can get 3 points for a near fall rather than just 2 points or 4 points. So you can get 2, 3, or 4 based upon the official's count. Do you like that rule also, Coach?
No, I think it's fine. It can be a little confusing. Sometimes refs count a little quicker.
Witcraft will start on top in the second period with a 3-0 lead, and he will start to build a little bit of riding time.
Yeah, and Koelzer's going to have to start opening up. Even here, start knee sliding, changeover. I tell you, teams are made by guys like this, in terms of Reece Witcraft, because he's not been the star of the team, but he's always there, great training partner, and always a great competitor when you put him on the mat.
Just the guys you have to have. And you think about it, he's on the verge of cracking the lineup at 2 different weights. What he can do to help you in the wrestling room as well as an opponent for your guys.
Yep.
In fact, he got a win over the 10th-ranked wrestler in the country from Arizona State earlier this year, and he's got bedlam experience. Beat Oklahoma's Anthony Madrigal in a bedlam duel, did Witcraft.
Yep.
And he's now got a minute and a half of riding time with 45 seconds left in period 2, in addition to this 3-0 lead. And Koelzer just not able to get up off bottom and get that escape point that he desperately needs.
Yep. And he usually does a lot more wrestling. I don't know if he has bedlamitis or he's just being controlled. And I really think the latter by Reece Witcraft.
Bedlamitis is a real deal, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. We've been infected many times.
There's the escape and the first point for Koelzer. Significant riding time, though, built by Witcraft.
Yeah, he's got this motion going. Now you got to get your stutters and your setups going. He singles left. That's usually his go-to takedown. He's got some high leg attacks as well. Go behind the leg attacks. He's just not pulling the trigger.
Well, there's about 3,700 fans here at McCaslin Fieldhouse. I would imagine some were even turned away the line to get in. It's a wonderful crowd on what's a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Norman. So Witcraft will start on the bottom with a 3-0 lead and a minute 36 of riding time. So if he gets out within 36 seconds, he may be able to substantiate that riding time and gain an extra point at the end of this bout.
Yep.
Witcraft's takedown came back in the first period. They'll restart them here. I think they're making sure the clock is set. It says a minute 35. Got to get that taken care of.
Well, so far, the Cowboys have been the team that have taken control of the matches. They've been the team shooting most often. They've been the team controlling the tie-ups.
Reece Witcraft, the veteran. He was an NCAA qualifier. Now, it'll be 4 years ago at 133 pounds.
Nice Granby for one. And it's going to be a point right here.
So Reece Witcraft.
Although you got to let your opponent in, too.
Witcraft with a 4-0 lead, and that's also going to perhaps allow him to substantiate that riding time. It'll stay at a minute 30, as Koelzer was only able to shave 6 seconds off.
There we go. Start working the head. Open something up.
A dangerous position there, called by Titus Scottbull. No restart of neutral.
Single attempt there, but no angle. You got to get in on an angle against a guy like this.
Restart here. Can Koelzer find something? We approach 1 minute left.
Well, he's going to have to find it within 25 seconds. Nice shrug attempt. Witcraft saw that on film. He was waiting for it. You got a whizzer there, but you got to use it. Drive your shoulder and hip into your opponent. The problem here is if he goes out of bounds, they stop, but he might be hit for stalling. That would be the point I was alluding to.
So you mentioned a moment ago, you have to allow your opponent to come back into the circle. Are they keeping an eye on that right here?
No, that's why they didn't call the last one, because he was driving him and not letting him in. Well, he's going for it now, but little too late. Nice pancake by Reece Witcraft. I would say this, the Cowboys are wrestling excellent. They are coming off a nice win against Lehigh.
And Witcraft.
Wow, great lift and drive to the back. Not quite.
Reece Witcraft looking impressive. Dangerous position called there by the outside referee, Josh Briscoe. A restart here, but it's going to be an 8-1 win, it looks like, when you tack on the point for riding time for Reece Witcraft. He was impressive, Coach.
No, real impressive. And that's just Reece Witcraft. It's like, I don't care what I'm not doing. I don't care what I don't get. Put me in. I'll get the job done.
So it's an 8-1 decision when you tack on the riding time, and Reece Witcraft has given Oklahoma State a 6-0 lead here in Bedlam. Witcraft, that late takedown, tack on the riding time, and he was actually 1 point away, Coach, from a major decision. Nearly got that at the end.
Yeah, and now you're going from the frying pan into the fire because, well, the frying pan, that would be, Tegan Jamison